Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, February 16th, 2021, day 28 of the Joe Biden-Kamala Harris presidency, and this is a special edition of your News Blurb. A video was brought to my attention today, and after reviewing it, I did want to discuss it on this show because I believe it adequately shows just how black and white and just how extreme liberals and liberal journalists are willing to be with their wild assertions. Now, I will say this. I typically agree with many of the things Tucker Carlson says on his show, but I do not agree with the assumption that he makes towards this female journalist from MSNBC. I do not believe she was insinuating that Trump supporters should be bombed via drone strikes. When we go down that road, we end up being no better than the Democrats and their always extreme versions of what they believe is reality. But the language that this female journalist uses to get her point across and how she tries to tie it into an argument against Mitch McConnell and furthermore anyone that didn't find Trump guilty is a prime example of the black and white extremism liberals use when arguing any political point.
Well, it used to be, there was a time, as they say, when most sane people in this country believed that bombing American citizens with military drone strikes in this country just because you don't like their politics, a little over the top, maybe a little too far, maybe not the unity we were looking for, but things have changed. Supporters of Donald Trump, it turns out, were so dangerous that maybe they do deserve hellfire missiles raining down on their homes. Watch.
We had a policy, and it was very controversial. It was carried out under the Bush years and under the Obama years of attacking terrorism at its root, of going after and killing, and in the case of Amr al-Awlaki, an American, a Yemeni American, with a drone strike for the crime of inciting violence, inciting terrorism. Mitch McConnell was in the Senate then. He was in the Senate after 9/11 too. How does Mitch McConnell, who understands that the way you root out terrorism is to take on, in the case of Islamic terrorism, kill those who incite it, how does he not vote to convict someone that he said on the floor of the Senate incited an insurrection?
Now, I'll say it again. This is a wild, wild assumption and assertion. But I don't believe this journalist was implying that drone strikes should be used on Trump supporters. She was implying that because Mitch McConnell previously supported using drone strikes on American citizens who were believed to be inciting extreme Islamic-style terrorism on the United States, that he should have at least found Trump guilty of inciting an insurrection. She is basically trying to call Mitch McConnell a hypocrite, just using very colorful language for it. She assumes, number one, that Trump, in fact, did incite a violent insurrection, which he didn't. We all know that. He specifically asked for a peaceful protest, and then she piles that assumption that Mitch McConnell should have found Trump guilty based off of the decisions McConnell had made when it comes to combating Islamic terrorists. This is what they do. This is what the left does. They keep it extreme to a fault, black and white, no gray area, nothing in the middle, because they don't have facts, they don't have evidence, they don't have anything else. If they keep it extreme, then they can at least push this very emotional version of everything that they say. It's not based on any fact or evidence because, to be honest, I believe at this point in time, they're just too lazy for any of that. They want the shock value. They don't want to have to do any of the research. But unfortunately, this is what we have to deal with.